And this morning, we have an unknown story that takes us back to the very beginnings of Buffalo and a man who played a vital role wearing many hats in the early Niagara frontier. A man who's the subject of a new book by local author Thomas Rosenthal. This is a story about the birth of Buffalo.
I think every community in America has a man who really helped found the city.
And one of the men who played a vital role.
Cyrenius being the first physician, but he was more than a physician. I mean, he was a cantankerous fellow who believed his ideas strongly and had a lot of energy. He must have only slept about 4 hours a night.
His name, Cyrenius Chapin. He was born in Massachusetts and in 1803 moved west. He purchased land from the Holland Land Company in what was then known as the village of New Amsterdam.
He brought with him his experience as a doctor. He was apprentice trained, and so he had something to support himself, something to fall back on. But I think he saw here in Western New York was the potential for a great little community.
And he bought up a great chunk of that community. His home stood in the area of Swan and Washington, right where the ballpark stands today.
His first offer was to actually buy what today would have been all of downtown. But he ended up with just one lot and built a home, built an office, and stayed there the rest of his life.
And in those early days, his medical background wasn't the only thing he brought to the table. He also took on a role of community leadership.
Cyrenius was an officer in the New York State militia.
And he was an officer of conscience, which he showed during the War of 1812.
General McClure, who was then commanding the American forces at Fort George, decided that he had to burn the village of Newark, today we know as Niagara-on-the-Lake. And this was something that Chapin was very much against. As you can imagine, the only people left in the village of Niagara-on-the-Lake at that time in the war were women and children and older people, and he knew they were just going to be put out in the middle of the winter.
In fact, his protest was so strong that General George McClure ordered Chapin locked up. He was later freed by members of his militia, but not in time to stop the British retaliation.
They tested it by coming across at Fort Niagara and realized there was nobody defending Fort Niagara, and then started their march down to Buffalo, burning everything in sight, and including Buffalo, and including Dr. Chapin's home.
Yeah, and Dr. Chapin also was, he started the Erie County Medical Society as well as the Agricultural Society. He made his mark. I know the first thing that comes to mind is Chapin Parkway, named after him, right? Well, no, actually it was named after Civil War hero Brigadier General Edward Chapin, who is no relation to Cyrenius. That Chapin was a well-known attorney and also a member of the city's first semi-pro baseball club, the Niagaras. And the first Chapin, it's all in this book. Great read.